was such an interesting project. I mean, when it was discussed that it wasn't really just going to be a musical, it was going to involve a lot of flying and acrobatics, puppeteering. I mean, it sort of had a lot more things involved than normally is in a musical. And that in itself has been quite a challenge. I've been working on it for nearly 3 years, and drawing the whole time, but as the script evolved, then things fell out and new ones came in, and so even though I was doing things, I didn't really finish the show till November last year. The design on King Kong has been a lot more difficult because of the flying and the harnesses. I haven't done a lot of that. I think I flew Hugh Jackman in Boy from Oz, and that was the only other thing I've really had anybody fly in. And the other thing, we're doing this interactive lighting projection, and so in certain lighting conditions we want the costumes to disappear, so that when the King's men are with King Kong, in certain lighting states you won't see them operating King Kong. So we had to test hundreds of pieces of fabric to see if it was compatible to the lighting conditions. We've had things made in New York, in India and Bangkok, and plus a workroom in Australia as well, because there's probably over 500 costumes. And I think in the first 10 minutes of the opening of the show we sort of blow out 100 and something costumes, because everybody is 50 people with 3 costumes each. The era is 30s for King Kong, and I have a bit of a saying, we're doing period smeriod, which means we're sort of evoking the period but we're not being a slave to it. Because, you know, it's different if you're doing a film, you know, you're trying to recreate a real image. And some of the 30s fashion wasn't very flattering with long skirts and things. And so, you know, in a musical, you want the dancers to look gorgeous. The dresses have to flow when they dance. They've got to be danceable. So straight, long skirts are no good for dance numbers. So in the end, you know, I sort of took the flavour of the 30s and you just push it to where you want it to be. I suppose finding that style, was the hardest thing for me. But, you know, it was going to help look like a video clip and say the period at the same time without being laboured on the period. And that did take a while, I think, to work out how to find the style. And hopefully I think we've got one.